If your mind feels full and you want to come away to move through December, well, this brain dump and weekly reset will help you clear your head and organize the week in just a few simple steps. So if you're ready, let's go. Hello, Plannerettes. Welcome. And if you're here live, make sure to say hello in the chat and let me know where you're tuning in from. And if this, of course, is your first time joining me live, I would love for you to type new in the live chat so I can welcome you properly. Now, let us see, make sure that we are looking good, everything, all the audio is looking great. So just make sure to say hello in the chat. And of course, if you are watching on replay, I would also love for you to say hello in the comments section. So drop a comment or a question and let me know where you're from and what you're planning for this week. I do read every comment and I love hearing your thoughts. So for those of you that are new here, hello, I am Marianne. And here I share simple planner setups, habit tracking, self-care, and the joyful stationery that I use in my own planning. So hopefully you can get some ideas and inspiration that may help bring more intention and calm into your week without the pressure or perfection. So before we begin, I would love for you to take in a deep breath. Let us go. Let's hold it and breathe out. And let your shoulders drop. You're here, you made time for yourself, and that is enough. So what are we going to cover in today's live stream? We're going to move through a simple guided brain dump together. So I'm going to give you prompts and we'll pause, and by the end you'll have a clear picture of what's on your mind, what matters this week, and what can wait for a little bit later on. Now, if you don't have the free Calm and Clear starter kit that has the Brain Dump Printable guide in it, I will make sure to pop that in the chat right now, and it is also in the description below, so you can download a copy for yourself and print it later. Now, it does include this brain dump guide, a trigger list that can help you prompt and coax out all those thoughts in your head, and a blank grid page to write everything down in, which is going to make this whole process a whole lot easier. Hello there, Cindy. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate you being here today. So I am so glad you are here. So what's the purpose of brain dumping? Here's what we're going to get out of today's reset. One, we're going to get clarity. Okay, so everything comes out of our head and onto paper, so you're not juggling it all internally. Two, it's going to give us focus. We'll be able to see what actually does need our attention this week and what's just noise that can wait a little bit later on. And brain dumping will also help give us breathing room. It's a simple plan that's going to leave a lot of space for real life, because unexpected things are always going to pop up. So I want you to grab your favorite pen, your coffee, tea, whatever your favorite beverage is of choice is. Let me take a sip before it gets too cold, and we're going to start with 10 quiet minutes to write everything down. Okay, so if you're ready, I am ready. If this is you and this sounds good, I would love for you to type yes in the chat right now to let me know you are ready to do some brain dumping. Hello there, Tracy. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here with us today. All right, let's look at my desk. So this is the A5 Filofax Finsbury organizer in the color mustard. Now, I did want to keep, originally wanted to have my Hobonichi A5 cousin and my printable all in one, but I found it got to be a bit too chunky. So I had a look at my Filofax stash covers, and this Finsbury is a nice, joyful color for this season. And then it's going to house all the different A5 printable that I'm going to take with me into 2026. So in here is my brain dump guide. So let me put the little divided aside. So in the Calm and Clear starter kit that's in the description as well as in the chat right now, you get this. These are all free printable, by the way, because I want to give us all the opportunity to really help declutter our mind and reduce the overwhelm that we sometimes hold on to when we want to or need to think that we have to plan everything, that we think we all have to action everything right now, that everything is important. So you're going to have a brain dump guide. This is the thing that we're going to go through today. But this is really good that if and when you do want to do a brain dump on your own, you have the guide to go through step by step. Also, in the Calm and Clear starter kit, you get the free brain dump trigger list. So this has 25 different ideas that might be stuck in that head of ours that go, oh yeah, that's right, the bills I need to pay or track, conversation that's been on my mind, habits I want to build or break. So you've got that. And then, of course, you also have the grid paper. So it's got a very faint grid on it. So then if you're like me who loves to write things down on a nice straight line rather than slanting off to the side, the grid paper will allow us to go and dump everything from our head down onto paper without worrying if it's getting a little bit too messy. But again, it is okay. So let's quickly have a look who else is here with us. Hi, Cindy, ready as well. I love that. Let's have a look who else is here. Sabrina, yes, I'm ready for a brain dump. Yes, me too. I actually haven't done a brain dump for a couple of weeks and I really need it because it's just like I've got notes and sticky notes everywhere. So I love it. Thank you so much. Hi, Tracy. Everyone saying hello to everyone. Thank you, everyone, for keeping me on track. So let us go. So today I'm going to use this Pilot Friction Way erasable gel pen. I'm not going to erase anything, but I do like the teal color. The reason why I like to use sort of, the lighter pen, so you don't have to use lighter colored pen, but I like the lighter colored hue. So if and when I do write anything down that, might be a little bit more personal, I don't want it to be too blasted into the world. So that is why I'm keeping the hue of my gel ink pen during my brain dump session with you a little bit lighter. So then if I want to if I'm frustrated and I want to swear in my brain dumping, it's not going to be too obvious. So grab your favorite pen. Remember, whatever you write down, no filtering, no judging, just get it out. Doesn't have to be grammatically correct. It doesn't have to be, beautifully written. This is all we're doing is dumping everything down on paper because we don't want it in our head. Our head is not meant for storage. It's meant for creative processes. Okay, so hello. All right, let's quickly have a look at who else is here. Paula, eggnog in hand on a cold Canadian night. Oh, hopefully you've got scarf and your blanket. Is this your first time, Paula? If so, welcome. Yay, I appreciate you being here. I love it. So Sabrina, is Saturday evening for all here. I am in Sydney, Australia, and it's Sunday, December 7th, 11:09 a.m. All right, so if you're ready, I am ready. Pen in hand, drink. Paula's got the eggnog. I've got my coffee. I'll put 10 minutes on the timer. Again, please, no filtering, no judging. If it's in your head, get it down on paper, okay? I'll see you on the other side of 10 minutes. Let's go. I love it. I love it. All right. So that's 10 minutes. Hopefully, you've gotten a lot of stuff out of your head and down on paper, and it is feeling a little bit lighter. Now, for those of you who are new to brain dumping, you either have lots to write or not sure what to write at all. But that is okay because, like any new habits, you're going to find your own rhythm. So if you need more than 10 minutes, put the timer on again. There's no set rules. Remember, this is your brain dump session. So, of course, for today's live stream, I've got to limit it to 10 minutes, but most of the times I will need more. And if you think you've written everything down, just sit there for a moment. Don't look at your phone. Don't get distracted because you'll be surprised. It's like, oh, there's more things in my head than I thought. Okay, so of course, if you're not sure what to write, I do have that brain dump trigger list that's in the free Calm and Clear starter kit. So there's 25 different things that you can go and scan through. You can read all 25 and go, oh yes, that's right. There's things that keep me up at night. Let me write that down. Remember, the whole point of our brain dumping session is to make sure that we are not keeping these thoughts, these tasks in our head at all. So let's quickly have a look who else is here. So Paula is, yes, very new to ours. Welcome, welcome, Paula. Thank you, Cindy. I love it. See, this is what our lovely little community, the Plannerettes community, is like, welcoming everybody, just like, hello, Ronnie Cat. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Sheila, Positive Changes, how are you? I hope you had a lovely holidays for your Thanksgiving and all those lovely preparations that you did. You pulled it off. All right, well done to you and your family. I love it. Okay, so now let's quickly have a look. And of course, if you now let's make sure, where am I? It is here. Okay, so what we do, we don't stop here. We don't just stop at the brain dumping. Now, I used to, in the past, just stopped at brain dumping, getting things out of my head and down on paper. And I would work off the brain dump list like this, as if it was my to-do list. No, that's where the overwhelm will still pop up and show up. Okay, so really important that once we brain dump, we're going to make a little bit more sense of it all by categorizing it. So in the free brain dump guide, in the step-by-steps, all right, so there's your set up your brain dump. We're going to write everything down without judgment, and we're going to categorize it. Now, I'm categorizing all these thoughts, feelings, tasks, and everything else based on time frame. Okay, now it's important that you use whatever categories that you prefer. So you might want to categorize things for work, for home, for study, for the children. Okay, make sure it makes sense to you. There's no point categorizing something and just going, this doesn't work for the way my brain works or for the way my lifestyle or my season of life is at the moment. Okay, so for this exercise, and you can use it as well, and then if you use it and you go, you know what, that's not fitting into the way I want to do things, of course, change it. This is just a guide. This is not set rules. This is just what's helping me and hopefully will help you as well. So I have picked my zebra mild liner in the colors that I have in my categories list. Here, green, I'm going to use for things I would like to look at, finish, action, or things to do for today and tomorrow. Okay, so green, urgent today or tomorrow. Okay, the next category I'm going to look into is things that I would like to look into, action, or maybe refer to for the week. So that for me, the week is for the next 7 days. Okay, so if you're watching this on replay and you might be watching it midweek and you do a brain dump, it might just be for the rest of the weeks, the next 3 to 4 days. So whatever the week will look like for you, I'm going to use blue marker. For the things for the monthly tasks, I'm going to use purple. Again, these are the colors that make sense to my brain. So green is like, go, let's go, let's do this. And so change the colors if you want. Maybe use the favorite markers and favorite colors, or even colors that you don't use often in your marker stash. So then that way it gives you an opportunity to use them. For me, purple is going to be for monthly tasks and deadlines. So again, it could be until the end of December or for the next 30 days, whatever that time frame is. I'm going to use purple. I'm going to go through, I'll show you individually how I'm going to do this. I just want to show you the categories and color coding, because the color coding will make sense once we sort this out. You're going to see visually how it's going to help your brain make sense of this, who knows what it is, right? An eclectic collection of thoughts, feelings, and tasks. And then by color coding it, it's going to make a lot more sense. So yellow is for anything that you might have popped up that's not for this month. Why are we going to worry about it in December when it's something we need to look into in January, February, or later on in the new year? Okay, but we want to acknowledge it, we want to validate it, we want to tell our brain, I've noted, so don't worry, I won't forget because I've written it down. And of course, because we are brain dumping and there's no judgment, no filter, we can also might have written any of our feelings, any of the self-doubt, any of the limiting beliefs, any of the comparisons, the shoulda, woulda, coulda. Again, they're all valid thoughts, because guess what? They sat in your brain for a reason. But once we've dumped it, we're going to look into them, whether we challenge it, reframe it, or cross it off altogether if it ain't true. If we're saying to ourselves, we're ugly, we're not a good mom, we're not a good wife, and it's not true, we're gonna cross it off, okay? Because we're not gonna let that take any more space in our time. So if you are all following along, make sure you give me a thumbs up in the live chat or hit that like button. So those are the categories that I'm going to use to sort everything that was once, what's that, in 26 minutes ago, was in my brain. I dumped it on paper, and now we're going to sort through them. Okay, so if you have any questions at all along the way, please don't be shy. Pop it in the live chat or in the comment section, because if you're thinking it, someone else could be thinking it as well. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to deal with those feelings and emotions that might not be, all the desirable. I could feel hair on my back. Those that are not as desirable. Hello, Brenda. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for being here. I missed you. I missed you, Brenda. Hopefully you've been well, my darling. Okay, I love it. And oh, hello there, Martha. Nice to see you. Let me see where my chat is. Martha, is this your first time as well here? If so, welcome, welcome. Yay! I appreciate you being here and taking a little bit of your precious time to hang out with us here on our Plannerettes community. All right, so let's have a look. Where are we? This week's priorities. Let's have a look. Okay, and like I said, of course, before we move on, let's us check in with ourselves. How are you feeling right now? Do you feel a little bit lighter? So if you did that 10-minute brain dumping with me, do you feel lighter or at least less cluttered? If so, make sure to give this live stream a like, because of course it does help my channel so much, and then it can go out to more people like us who need that little bit of guidance to just tell us what to do, because sometimes we know what to do, we just don't do it. We just need someone to go, come on, this is the way to go. So hopefully you are liking this so far. Yes, I'm loving it. It is Martha's first time. So I am tired, but I said I was coming for my birthday. That's right. It is your birthday, Saturday. That's it. Saturday. Let's have a look. Where are we? I know there is somewhere in here. Happy birthday, Ronnie Cat. Happy birthday to you. I hope you are having a wonderful day and you are getting spoiled lots. I love it. And yes, it is Martha's first time today. Thank you so much for joining me. I love it. I love it. Okay. Whoops, I jumped the gun too much, too early. Okay, so the first category we're going to do, grab your green marker or whatever marker, and we're just going to look at everything on our brain dump list things that we would like to do today or tomorrow. If for those of you that's already in your Saturday evening, of course, things to do for tomorrow. Okay, so we're gonna sort it out, and we're gonna put a 1-minute timer on the screen. So the reason I'm only putting 1 minute is because this is actually going to help us quickly sort through what are the priorities. Sometimes when we give ourselves a little bit too much time, we go, oh, I'd love to do that today as well. Oh, and what about that one? Oh, I'd like to do that one. But if we've only got a certain amount of time to quickly figure out what is it that we'd like to, look into, that doesn't mean when we sort things out in today, tomorrow, that we have to finish it. That's what I think a lot of us fall into the trap of, that we think that if we put it on our to-do list, that we have to complete it. We can do just one little thing from it. We can just review it, okay? So these are the ways to help us prioritize by giving ourselves a set amount of time only, not too long, because if it's too long, then we procrastinate thinking, should I do that today or tomorrow or later on in the week? So 1 minute on the timer, grab your green marker, anything you need to or would like to look into today or tomorrow. Let's go. Okay, so for me, instead of highlighting it, I just used the fine tip end of my zebra mild liner and I circled it. So again, highlight, circle, whatever it is that'll make it stand out. So as you can see, because remember when we first brain dumped, I didn't write things down in any chronological order. Whatever was in my head that popped in, I wrote it down. So as you can see, the things that I want to do for today and tomorrow originally were all over the place, but now we are starting to sort through it. Yes, I love it. Thanks and welcome, Martha, and also Brenda. I love it. Okay, so the next category. So if, of course, you need more than 1 minute, you can always come back. So this is just, again, don't worry that, I've run out of time or there's more things I'd like to circle. We can always come back, because then there might be things that you haven't written down for the, later on, that you can use that time for. Okay, so don't fret if you go, I still need to go and circle more things. That is okay. All right, so the next category that I like to do when I do my brain dump is blue. Okay, so blue marker. What is it that I would love to look into, action, complete for the next 7 days? So for me, I'm going to here Sunday, so until next Saturday. Okay, so grab your marker, look through everything that you wrote down when you were first decluttering and brain dumping, and ask yourself, is this something that I need to action, look into, follow up within the next 7 days or this week, or can it wait? If it can wait, don't circle it. Okay, so don't circle anything that's not for the week. So I'll put another 1 minute on the timer, and then I would love for you to circle, highlight anything that you'd love to follow up, action, or look into for the next week. Let's go. Look at that. Our brain dump is looking a little bit more colorful. It's visually enticing because when we start to categorize or sort things for in certain time frames, we are giving ourselves that little bit of breathing room that, we don't have to look at everything right now. Even though we sometimes feel everything is important, everything is urgent, I've got to action it. When we actually do start sorting it out, it gives us that little breathing room. All right, so then the next category that we're going to look at is purple, is what the color I'm going to use is anything for the month, monthly tasks or deadlines. Now, this may be a lot for us because, of course, coming into the holiday season, if you're having gatherings or, family occasions, this might be a lot. Again, if you need more time, you can always come back, do a replay of this and put the 10-minute timer on, or put your own little music. Do not get distracted. Don't have your phone near you, because then that's when, because I actually had a look at the chat earlier and then there was a thought that was in my head that slipped out and then I can't remember what it was. Hopefully I remember it a little bit later on. Okay, so purple, what things that you haven't yet circled are things you need to look at this month? So for us, or for me, for the rest of the year, okay, so that you was in your head. I'm sure there's lots more, but in our brain dump, what is it that you would like to action, follow up, look into for the month? All right, so let us go and put the timer on again and let's go. Okay, I've got a few things I would like to look into for the month. How is your own little brain dump page looking? Is it looking colorful? Are you circling? Are you highlighting? Let me know in the chat right now. That's looking, even that in itself, just with that add of color, it's bringing me a little bit of joy. Originally, when before started, it was like, oh, I've got all these things I've got to look into. I feel like I'm falling behind. I've got so many things to do. But when we do this, it just allows us to focus and be more clear of what it is that matters right now and what is it that we can look at later on. So let me know, how is your brain dump page looking at the moment? Okay, let's keep going. The next category I have is yellow, is the color I'm going to use for future plans and ideas. So during my brain dump, different things popped into my head. Oh, I need to do that. Oh, I need to do this. But based on the way I've categorized so far for today, tomorrow, the week, and the month, I have actually, again, this comes with time. Like brain dumping and categorizing, like any habits, you'll get better at it, because you might have circled everything for today or tomorrow or this week. I'm going, these are all needs to be done, okay? But when the more you do a brain dump and the more you do the categorizing, you will get better at actually going and prioritizing. So if you go to me and go, Marianne, I've circled everything because I need to look at everything right now, that is okay. You will start to find your rhythm, all right? So don't be hard on yourself. They go, everything's important, Marianne. I've got to do it all. But what happens when we put everything in the today, tomorrow, and this week bucket, and then next week we find ourselves overwhelmed again and then not completing all the tasks we've said we would like to do, that's when you start to go, you know what? I can't do everything in 1 week. What is it that I can do to help my future self not put too much pressure. And this is where the brain dumping and the categorizing really does help a lot. Elle, hello, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. I appreciate. I hope you've been well. I've been seeing a lot of your different videos and everything else. Thank you so much. All right. So, future plans. Let's grab our yellow marker. Everything you have written down originally that has nothing to do, that we don't need to action at all in the month of December, or at least for the next 30 days. We'll put a minute on the timer. I'm going to use yellow. Let's go. All right, look at that. It's like a little wall of colorful bricks. It makes me happy. You know what? If nothing else gets done today, I feel like I have ticked something off. Look, if today that's all you can do is categorize and not actually action, remember that is enough, because it's like as if you can imagine, so if you're new here to my channel, I love using analogy because I am such a visual learner. And if I equate something to a visual activity or action, it helps me understand it a lot better. So if you can imagine, brain dumping is everything that is in the dryer. Okay, you've just done laundry. Everything that's in your head is all the clothes that's in the dryer, or if you are hanging it on the clothesline, everything on the clothesline. It's all mixed up, it's all bundled together, and everything else. So the brain dumping, so when you declutter your mind and you write everything down, it's like as if you've taken all the laundry, the clean laundry, out of the dryer or on the clothesline, and you put it in your laundry basket, and you've dumped all the clothes either on the dining table, that's where we do our laundry, or for you, it might be on your bed or on the lounge or the couch. That is what brain dumping is, okay? So brain dumping, just imagine, is all your clean laundry that were originally either in the dryer, the clothesline, or in the laundry basket, and you've just dumped it, right? They're all just all on the bed, or all on the couch, or all on the dining table. Now, the categorizing, just like we've done here, is you are sorting the socks, the underwear, the t-shirt, your clothes, hubby's clothes, the kids' clothes, the linen, the towels. That's all you're doing for the moment when you categorize. All right, so when we're categorizing things we'd like to do for today and tomorrow, that could be all the tea towel. Okay, if we're categorizing all the things we need to do for the week, that could be all the towels. If we need to categorize all the things for the month, that could be just sorting through all the other linen, all the bed sheets and all the bed linen. Okay, so if you imagine what brain dumping is like, it's like sorting through your clean laundry. Okay, just dumping it all, putting it in their categories. Right, so that's what it is. So now when you put them in the categories, it's a lot easier to see because all the socks are together, all the towels are together, all the linen are together, all your clothes, their clothes. That is what this is. So it makes a lot more sense rather than trying to, get one thing out of the laundry basket and then putting it away, right? We know we got to put the laundry, the clean laundry away. But if we try and sort through all the one basket at a time, it's just too overwhelming. And then it can't sort through it. So hopefully that makes a lot more sense why it's important to brain dump. It just makes things easier for us to sort through what's going on in our head. Let's have a look here. Elle saying hello to Ronnie Cat. I love it. Jess 302. Hello, nice to see you. Is this your first time? Wow, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you being here. Let us know, even if you are comfortable, of course. Let us know what your first name is. Okay, now for me, I've sorted everything out so far. The green, the blue, the purple, the yellow. But if you did have any feelings, thoughts, self-doubt, limiting belief, negativity, imposter syndrome, where you're comparing, oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda done this. Oh, what about the fear? What if I don't get to do this? And all those are all still valid. Why? Because they were taking space in your head. So when you do a brain dump and you start, when I first started brain dumping, I used to go, oh, I'm not a good mom because I yelled at the kids today, or, had a fight with my husband, I mustn't be a good wife, or, I'm not further ahead where I should be at this age. Okay, important that you note them down, because if they live in your head, guess what's going to happen? They're going to gather momentum. That you're going to keep thinking, oh, yeah, maybe I am a failure. Maybe, I'm not a good mother, or maybe I'm not a good friend because I haven't talked to anyone. Important, get it out of your head. Sometimes it can be confronting, right? But it's better out than in. As Shrek says, better out than in, right? Because then it gives us that space. So if you have written down any of those non-desirable feelings, make sure that you do acknowledge them as well. So what do you do with those? Now, of course, if you don't have yet the time for them, circle them. So in my case, it'll be red, or in this case, the zebra mild line I'm going to use is pink. Circle them and just maybe allow yourself another time to address them. Okay, so if you don't have the emotional, physical, or mental capacity to go sort through them right now, it's okay. You don't have to sort through them, but it is a great way to acknowledge those feelings, because you're feeling them because of certain things that happened, certain things that didn't happen. Someone said something, you didn't get the promotion that you might have applied for. Important that we circle them, give them the time to go and maybe address them later, have like a worry log, or give yourself 20 minutes, to go, okay, why am I feeling this way? Now, I would love for you though to challenge any of those. So if you say, in the past, I used to go, I mustn't be a good mom because I'm always, I was always, well, not always, most of the time arguing with my older teenage son. Why do I feel like I'm always judging, nagging? Okay, but if I'm not always, if I am a good mom, and it was just the moment in time that I may have felt like that I was less than, if it's not true, what I want you to do is cross it off. So if yes, I am a good friend, it's just been really busy this week, cross it off. Or I should be further ahead. And it's like, well, look, with the things that's happened in my life, yes, I'm a little bit behind, but in whose time frame, right? Are we comparing ourselves to what society says we should be at 50 years old, or I should be making more money, or I should have a house? If it's not true, I want you to cross it off or challenge it. Am I really a bad mom? No, I was just really angry that time because I was tired, I didn't have sleep, or I was feeling sick. I am a good mom. It's just that one moment in time that I lost my cool, okay? So really important. So let's quickly check before we get going. Let's check the chat. Where are we? Hello. Me often, self-doubt. Exactly. And a lot of times these self-doubt come in because of our past history. Maybe someone said something when we were 10 that we have carried throughout for the last 20, 30 years. So sometimes, those doubts are valid because of the things that happened to us in the past, or what society has, placed upon us that we should be doing this. Okay, I love it. Thank you, Sheila. Big heart. Yes, this is my first time catching a live. My name is Rachel. I really enjoy your videos, and I only just recently found you. Oh, thank you so much for being here, Rachel. I appreciate you being here. Ladies, be confident because you are perfect the way you are. Excellent. Yes, that is right. We are enough. What we're doing is enough. And, you know, if we feel like we should be further ahead, well, then we go, well, what is it? One tiny little thing we can do to move ourselves forward. Okay, so let's put a minute on the timer. So if you did have any of those self-doubt or negative thinking, I want you to either circle them, cross it off, challenge it, reframe it, or give yourself time later down the track to address them. So let's put 1 minute on the timer right now. Brilliant. Okay, so we have now categorized what was first, all the things we've decluttered from our brain around about 5-10 minutes ago. Now it's time to turn these categories into something we can actually use. All right, so got everything out of our head, down on paper, without any filter, without judgment. We sorted it out. For this guide, it's based on time frame. Now we are going to go to the next step and actually use this for our new week. So we're going to take the tasks that we have marked for today and tomorrow. So for me, that is green, as well as the things that's in blue for the week. And we're going to put them on a single running to-do list. So this page here I have created. Let me see if I've got the printable. I'll pop that in the live chat now. So this running to-do list is based on the Alistair method, where we write down our to-do list. These are, of course, our known tasks and to-dos, and we know some of them because we brain dumped them today. We put it on one single page, a running to-do list, which means it's like a living list. So it's not set in stone. We can move things around. We can add a little bit to it, but it's important to put it on one single page. The things that we want to do for today, tomorrow, and the week, only on one page, right? More than that, and guess what's going to happen? If you're feeling overwhelmed with all the things you have to do that was originally in your head, your overwhelm is going to slip back in. Because if you have a list of things to do for today and tomorrow and the week on multiple pages, Okay, what's going to happen is you're not allowing yourself for life to happen, for other things that will pop up. It's going to take your time. It's, you're going to have to move things around. So if you have more tasks or more pages than one, that's where, if you're feeling, of course, if you've got 3 4 tasks to do and you get through them in the week, you do you. Okay, but for a lot of us who have like moved things, who don't complete things, and we've got all these never ending to-do lists, our to-do list, guess what, is always going to be never ending. More stuff are going to pop up, but it's important that we put it only on one page. Like I said, more than that, that's where the overwhelm comes in. So this running to-do list is one page that's going to help you see the week clearly, because like I said, it's on one page. It's visual from a bird's eye point of view. We could go, okay, Marianne, you've got way too much task on your list. No wonder you're feeling overwhelmed. Because you know why it happens? We cannot plan for the energy we will have later on in the week. We cannot plan for anything that pops up that we did not anticipate, and there are always going to be things that will pop up. We may not be able to anticipate if we feel sick, or our energy level or our emotional well-being later down the track. We may feel all good and dandy right now. Yes, I can handle 100 different tasks, but come Wednesday, I feel like, oh, I don't want to do any of this. I'm tired. I'm sick. I feel like I'm not doing well. Okay. So by having it on one page, we're going to see things clearly without losing the big picture. Now, if you do want a full explanation of how the running to-do list works, I do have in the description right now the link to this video, the to-do list fix. Okay, so it talks to you exactly how it works. So of course, in today's live stream, I can't go into more details because we want to, start getting ready for the new week and start planning. But if you want to know more how the running to-do list based on the Alistair method works, this video right here goes through each and everything. So you can either download my printable, or you can draw up on your own planner or your own journal or a plain notebook how you can use the running to-do list to plan for the new week. All right, so how do we do this, and how do we use these categories that we have just written? So all we're going to do, right, because we're only going to look at things that matter right now. So for us, that time frame is the new week, getting ourselves ready for the new week. So all I'm going to be looking at on my brain dump are the green things, today and tomorrow, and the blue things. The things that's purple for the rest of the month, I don't need to look at them until, guess what, next week. Or the yellow for the later on in the year, or later on in the new year, I don't need to look at them. Why am I carrying these tasks that I don't need, that I have categorized, that I have said to myself earlier when I was circling it, it's not important for me to look at them right now, but I would like to look at them later on in the month, next year. So why am I going to carry those tasks and to-dos in the new week, right? So this is where categorizing and sorting is going to help you prioritize the things that matter right now, and the things that may be noise, or that you can look at a little bit later on. So what I want you to do, if you did exactly the same as me, or whatever categories that you have circled or highlighted, only look at the things you have circled for today, tomorrow, and the week. And I want you, if you don't have a running to-do list, just get a clean sheet of paper, or open to a clean page. And then, or if you've got a planner that allows you to write a few of your tasks and to-dos, write them down in no particular order. We're not ordering it again. All we're doing is writing it on one page, one list. Okay, so let me know if you do have any questions. Please don't be afraid to ask them in the live chat, or if you're watching on replay, type it in. If you go, what, why can't I put it in on 2 pages? You can. It's not that you can't, but if you do find yourself at the end of the week still have a lot of incomplete or unfinished tasks, this is where the one page is going to help you out. All right, so I'm going to grab my pen, And everything that I have circled for today, tomorrow, and the week, I'm going to go look at them, write them down in no particular order. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to use a black marker. And once I've written them down, I'm going to cross it off to tell my brain that, hey, I don't need to look at that page again because I've migrated it into one task, okay? So 5 minutes on the timer, write down all the things that's on the green and the blue on this running to-do list, or whatever page you're writing it on. Let's go. How did you go? All right. So whether you put all your things that you have categorized for today, tomorrow, and the week, whether on a running to-do list or directly onto your daily or weekly planning, of course, do whatever will make sense for you. Okay. So now you can actually, if you wanted, plan your whole week just based on this one running to-do list. So you can go through and just go each day. So the way it works, very briefly, again, the more explanation in that to-do list video for you if you want to get into more detail, is when we write down our tasks and to-dos for the week, right, in no particular order, a running to-do list. Here on the left-hand side, you've got the little columns for the days of the week. And so you make, at the bottom here, I've got all the different keys. So little dot for when you would like to action that task or to do. You cross it off when you've completed it. If you didn't do it on that particular day, you can put a little arrow marking to move it either to the next day or later on the week or next week, or you can cross it off if you no longer need to do it. Okay, so then I marked all these little dots. I have marked them on, this is 7th today, it's Sunday for me, because it's only still the afternoon, so I've still got plenty of time to action things. Because I know some of these things are for today, I have made little dots. Okay, so I said, all right, for that one, plan for tomorrow's live stream, I have to do that today. Okay, so I made little dots, dot, 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 dot. Okay, and then things that I need to do for Monday the 8th, I make little dots as well. And then the things that I have circled for the week, I can then either already assign what day of the week I want to action them, or the great thing with having only one running to-do list and making it visible like this and assigning what day of the week you'd like to action them, if a particular day has already got lots of dots, which means you've already assigned yourself, look, I'd love for me to do these tasks on those days, you get to go, oh, I've already got 12 things on Tuesday. So of course you don't want to put any more things on that day, because if something else turns up, you're going to feel overwhelmed. You might have to drop the ball on some things, and then that can cause you stress. So by creating little dots on the days you want to action these tasks, you visually see, okay, I won't put it on that day. Plus, if you know Friday is your day off, where you should be resting and not doing too many tasks, you shouldn't assign yourself too many things on that day, because the whole point of a day off and resting day is to give yourself that breather. You might want to go and do some self-care stuff. All right, so really important that if you start to see that you have a lot of things, you've dotted a lot of things on certain days, and then that type of the week you might not have as much energy, you can start to see patterns in the way you work. For me, Thursdays and Fridays, my energy is a lot lower. It's like I don't get to do a lot of stuff. So I know now my pattern is I'm not going to assign myself too many things on Thursdays and Fridays, because mentally as well, I do get a little bit anxious, and so I want to make sure I give myself that compassion, that grace to go, we're not going to put so much on your plate today, Marianne, because I know you get quite a little bit, anxious thoughts, and you can get down on yourself a little bit. So take that time to do stuff you enjoy instead of doing things that are not as desirable. Okay, so does that make sense? Let me know if you're here in the chat. Give me a thumbs up. Yes, it makes sense. Okay, so, and look, I still have plenty of things to put on there. Now, it's not as if I'm going to add more tasks. Of course, later down the track, more things will come up. But if you have lots of tasks already, and then you see yourself giving yourself too many things each day or on your days off, and then you are finding yourself at the end of the week, like I normally used to feel, would be like, I didn't get anything done because I've still got lots of things on my to-do list that I haven't completed. And so we look at the things that we didn't do rather than the things we did do. We want to give ourselves as much opportunity to get the wins, to complete things on our plate within our own capacity. If you know second half of the week, your energy level, or you get a little bit down because, you might be meetings at work, or you might have to meet friends or family that drain you, right? So make sure you're giving yourself. This is a visual and physical way for you to give yourself breathing room. It's like as if you're trying to juggle, back in the circus days where people are juggling those spinning plates on a stick. If you have too many things on your to-do list, it's as if you're trying to juggle and keep all those plates spinning and keeping it on top of that stick. Unless you're good at it, then of course keep going. That's, if that's the way your brain works, fantastic. I love that. Um, let's quickly have a look at the chat. Where is my chat? Yes, Sheila says thumbs up. Yes, making sense. That is big. Yep, heart and power. Whoops, that was an arm and not a thumbs up. Okay, all right. So yeah, I love it. I love it. Yes. I love it. So you see, these are all the great things that we can do for ourselves. Right now, self is giving our future self breathing room. So you wouldn't put so much task and to do for someone else, right? Could go, oh, they probably may not be able to handle it, or that's too many things. So why are we giving ourselves that much pressure when we can go, nope, not today, not tomorrow. We can do that later on in the month, later on next year. Okay, we don't have to action everything right now. And if you go, I do have to action a lot of things, Marianne, don't tell me what to do, Marianne. Don't tell me to put only things on one page. Don't you know I've got lots of responsibilities? If that is the case, anything on your to-do list does not necessarily mean it's you that's got to action them. Okay, you can delegate, you can ask for help. So just because it's on your to-do list, like for example, the vacuuming, I will put it on my to-do list because it's important that it needs to get done. So we're not, stepping on crunchy toast. My old younger son likes to walk around the flat eating his toast and leaving crumbs everywhere. But that doesn't mean I'm the one doing the vacuuming. I get the older one to do it. Okay, so if it's just because it's on your list doesn't mean it's only you that has to action it. Ask for help, delegate. Okay. Yes, positive changes. Love it, Sheila. Okay, if you have the capacity, of course, if you want to use the running to-do list as is, fantastic. But if you're like me, who love planning my day and playing with my planners, and of course, if you have the capacity to do so, you can migrate this running to-do list in your weekly planner or your daily planner. So for example, if I wanted to have a look at all these things that I need to action for today, I can go and put it in my daily page. Okay, so where are we? So Sunday, December 7th. So some of these are already in there. Okay, so you can go off this and plan your week just from this, or if you want to, you can migrate the things for today in your daily planner or in your weekly planner page. Whatever it is that you can manage, do that. Okay, so but then I know for me, like I said, on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and I don't even sometimes look at my planner because I don't have the energy, is then I go off this list. So you don't have to stick to one or the other. Do what works well for you. And remember, not every day is the same, not every week's the same, not every month's the same. You can pick and choose, change your mind on how you plan your day, as long as it fits into the way your brain works and the current lifestyle you are in. Okay, so all good. Now, before we go further, if this session, of course, is helping you and you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe and also make sure to hit that bell, so then that way when I go on live like this, you get notified of when I'm on, because of course it does genuinely help support my channel a lot. Okay, so is that all we do in our running to-do list or in our planner? No, it is important that we just do not use our planners for the task and to-dos. So if you're feeling drained, overwhelmed, burnt out, it's most likely you have not actually been intentional in putting self-care activities in your day or in your week. So if you did grab my Calm and Clear starter kit, okay, so I'll pop that again in the live chat right now. So it's a free printable that has the brain dump guide, that has the brain dump trigger list, and then the brain dump page. There is also in it a self-care bingo card. Okay, so it is 25 different self-care ideas that you can either just do exactly the same one for 5 to 7 days or 3 to 4 days in your week, or paint or draw and do a creative craft. Actually, yesterday, I don't have my little bingo dauber. I'm gonna use my green. Yesterday, if you follow me on Instagram, I got my little origami, star origami, and I just let it whip. And of course, it went everywhere. It went, I let it pick whatever, and it landed on do a beauty ritual. So yesterday, I did a face mask. So guess what? I can now color that box in. Okay, so again, the self-care bingo card is part of the free Calm and Clear starter kit. There is no excuse for you to go, I don't know what self-care activities to do. It can be as simple as take 1 minute to breathe deeply. Okay, read a chapter of a book. Do laundry, yes, slowly and mindfully. Like for me, I actually love ironing because I see the difference from wrinkled clothes to nicely pressed clothes. So I do love ironing. So chores can be also a self-care activity if you do it mindfully, as in you focus on the moment. All right, so find yourself a self-care, or grab yourself the self-care bingo card in the Calm and Clear starter kit, print it off, and then have fun with it. Use those bingo daubers or, just a highlighter, and see how many of it you can action in the month. Choose a few different activities and schedule them in your planner. So what I have done here, okay, so you pick one, pick more, 3 or 5 or whatever. There's 25, enough for a month, okay? And then you can either write it down, as you can see here. So one of my self-care is get outside. Okay, so I would love to do that. Do I do it every day? No, I love to get outside every day. So I've made it my little dots, dot, 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 dot. So it helps remind me to be intentional. And of course, if you think you do not have the time, Marianne, it's the holiday season. Don't you know I'm busy? I've got things for work. I've got to wrap this up. We've got to plan for a holiday. We've got to plan for the family gatherings. If you think you do not have the time for breaks, guess what? That's usually the first sign you really need them yesterday. Okay, so the more tasks you have on your list, there we go, right? The more tasks on your list, the more breaks you need. Okay, so it's just like maintenance of your car. If you run out of gas or run out of petrol, your car won't go anywhere. It's the same way for us. If you find that you're overwhelmed, take a break. Doesn't have to be like your half hour, 1 hour, all day, mani-pedis, spas and all that stuff. Simple as listen to your favorite song, right? Everyone's doing this Spotify wrap up or whatever it is, right? Go pick some of your favorite songs, put on the playlist, have a dance in the lounge room. But the important thing is plan for it. Okay, so I want you to type yes in the chat if you agree that we need more breaks and we need to be intentional about it. All right, so what I'll do here, so I know today I need to get outside to actually I would like to get a replacement of this zebra mild liner. So that's a nice little excuse to get outside, to go to my favorite stationery store and do, how some stationery store have the paper and swatching the different markers. That is a self-care activity. That's right. It's not a frivolous act. It's part of telling yourself, Marianne, look after yourself by taking the breaks. Yes, Yes, I love it. Elle says, yes, indeed, important. Now, if you are wanting to know how to look after hair, your skincare, check out Elle Naturally. Elle has a channel about beauty and skincare. You know, if you have any issues with skin, she reviews different products. I know, like my hair was thinning there a bit and breaking. She goes through all these different products, beauty products, and she'll tell you the different things, and she tries them out and tells you what's good and what's maybe you buy again or maybe not. So do check out Elle Naturally's YouTube channel, and that hair and skincare, that's self-care. That's right. Just like the face mask. I did a face mask. So if you haven't yet followed me on Instagram at Marianne Cress, and you still see my blue face with my clay face mask. Okay. So what are today's key takeaway? Does this make sense to you today? Brain dumping is like your laundry that's in the basket. We dump it out on the bed. Categorizing it is like sorting the socks and the undies and yours and theirs, okay? And then putting the today and tomorrow in one to-do list. So it's one big picture. We see it clearly. We give ourselves enough space for anything that comes up. We also plan for our self-care. You're most welcome, Elle. I appreciate you. Elle and I have known each other, I think, since 2022 from an online course that we did about, YouTube and video creation. So she's been a support of mine for so long, and I want to do everything I can to also support her because she's been a wonderful friend indeed. Okay, so key takeaway from today, okay? Get everything out of your head. Our head is not meant for storage. It's for creativity, for processing our thoughts, okay? Sort out the things that you have written down into today, tomorrow, and the week to help you prioritize and give yourself that little bit of breathing room, okay? Use a single page running to-do list, or whatever you use, what system you use. So for me, even though I've actually written it in a running to-do list like this, because for the new year, or well, starting now, I am using a Hobonichi cousin. So I am going to be using the weekly spread. So at the moment, I'm hacking it because the Hobonichi doesn't start until 1st of January. I've ripped out some of the old pages from my Hobonichi 2024. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to write myself a running to-do list on my weekly spread, just like this. So this was Monday, 24th of November to Sunday, 30th. And then I broke down my running to-do list between tasks and my content creation. So for the new week, I'm going to probably do a list like this again. So then I will have a running to-do list, but lives in my Hobonichi cousin. So I think I'll do an impromptu live stream today with just some music while I set that up, okay? So use a single page where you can see everything, known task, okay? Because more things are going to come up, but single page running to-do list. Plan your self-care. Please make sure you go and figure out what is it that will give you that little bit of break. Your self-care is not a reward. It's not an afterthought. It should be one of the top things on your priority list. Okay, so don't just plan for tasks and to-dos. Make sure you are putting yourself on top of that list. Okay, so if you want to make this part of your weekly routine, don't forget the free Calm and Clear starter kit and start. The running to-do list is not part of it. Okay, it is a separate printable that you can buy from my shop. You can have either a Sunday start. There is also a version that's Monday start, or you can just go and draw one up yourself in whatever planning system you have. But it's really been one of the major game changer for me when it comes to planning my week and reducing the overwhelm. Okay, so all the links you can find in the link below. Okay, so really, really important. Now, doing a brain dump, okay, like this on a weekly basis or whenever you need to, doing something like this consistently is like your weekly maintenance for your mind. Okay, just the same way you bring your car to get it checked, the oil, the water, the tire pressure, putting, vacuuming the inside. Brain dump and doing it on a consistent basis is your weekly maintenance for your mind. It's decluttering. It's like doing, a spring clean, but doing it on a weekly basis. What this does is it teaches your brain to trust you, that you are going to give it space to reset. It's going to start trusting you and going, okay, we don't have to get so overwhelmed, because on a Saturday night or a Sunday morning or afternoon, we are going to get time to brain dump and reset. And this will allow your brain to stop being in a survival mode all the time, where you're fighting, you're fleeing, or you're freezing. Okay, so the more you do it, the better you get at it. So you can watch this live stream every first Sunday, first Sunday here in Australia. I do this 1.5 hour brain dump and weekly session to help guide us through, because a lot of times it's nice to do it with other people, right? So when we skip this too long, like I have for the last couple of weeks, that's when overwhelm creeps in. And yes, I was overwhelmed last week. I just had so much anxious thoughts, so much self-doubt, because my brain's going, what's going on? Why aren't we brain dumping? Why do we have all these thoughts in our head? Oh, it's probably because you're not good enough, Marianne, and you're not further ahead. And then that's when those thoughts creep in and they gather momentum and you start to spiral. Okay, so when we feel stuck, exhausted, and stretched thin, that's when it all comes in. Okay, so as you step into the new week, keep things simple and kind to yourself. What do? One small step at a time, one page at a time, just like our running to-do list, just like our self-care. Okay, you've got this. So before we go, I would love to ask a question. What is one thing from your brain dump today that stood out or surprised you? So whether it's your first time doing a brain dump with me, or you've done one in the past, or this is your first time actually categorizing what you wrote down, let me know what stood out for you or surprised you with today's brain dump. If you followed along, or if you were just listening in, what is an aha moment for you? Please share it in the live chat. And of course, if you are watching this on replay, share it in the comment section, because I always love reading this. Now, while you're typing your answers, because I would love for you to answer this, if you want to see how I'm easing into 2026 using my Hobonichi planners, I'm on again tomorrow live here on YouTube, where I'm going to show you how I've used the Hobonichi Weeks, Hobonichi Cousin, and Hobonichi Original so far, and what's working, what I might change. So I'll be live again tomorrow. That is why it's important to subscribe and hit that bell, and also go to this live stream, this scheduled live stream, and there is a notify me button. So then hopefully YouTube will send you an email saying Marianne is on, come and join us. Okay, so really important. So I would love to know, what is it that stood out for you today with our brain dump? Okay, so I will link the running to-do list tutorial, so you know exactly how to use this printable if you did want to grab it, or want to be able to pop it in your own planning system. It's in the chat, in the description right now, so that goes in a lot deeper. So I would love for you to tell me aha moments. If you enjoyed today's session, pop it in the chat right now. I appreciate you spending this time with me today. So whenever you're ready, just type in a little goodbye, a little, something kind to close out the session together. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you tomorrow in tomorrow's Plan With Me live stream here on YouTube. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.